Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to my home. Today we're going to make Spanakopita. Not just any Spanakopita. We are going to make one that is flaky and bursting with flavor. It is so delicious. I'm also going to make a quick tzatziki sauce that we can dip it in because I'm all about dipping in sauces. This is going to be perfect. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to start off by making our filling, which is spinach based, but lots of cheeses too. So what I've done is I've bought frozen spinach. All you want to do is let it thaw, and then I squeezed out all the excess juice. So I have about 2 cups here, so I'm just going to throw it in. You can also use, if you have wilted spinach in the fridge that you thought you were going to use and you never got to, you could just fry it up. And it takes quite a bit though, so you know, probably the whole package. Just fry it up with a little oil. You can add a little onion, a little garlic. You can flavor it, no problem. And just fry it up till it's dry, till most of the liquid is out of it, and you could use it the same way. Just throw it in here, let it cool. All right, you see how dry it is? There's actually no liquid at the bottom. That's what you want. I'm also gonna add 3 green onions that I've minced up, about 2 garlic cloves, but you can add more if you'd like. I like it garlicky, so I put 2 nice big ones. You're gonna add an egg. Also, I have 1 tablespoon of mint, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and 2 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of dill, all fresh herbs. You really want to keep things fresh in this dish. All right, next I really have some good quality feta. I love feta. So 1 cup of that. And here I have some creamy, delicious ricotta cheese. Add about 1/4 cup. I love ricotta cheese, it's so flavorful. And this one comes in a little basket, so it removes the excess water. You don't really want it sitting in water, so as soon as you open your dish, you could probably take the water out of it, and it'll be the right consistency. Okay, well, I'm adding a generous 1/4 cup. It's probably more like a 1/2 cup, but that's okay. Also, I'm gonna add some pepper. I'm not gonna add any salt because it already is salty enough. All right, so I'm gonna do like 1 heaping teaspoon, just because you know I love pepper. But if you don't want to add it, that's okay too. So give it a good stir. Incorporate all your ingredients nicely. Oh, it smells so fresh with the mint. I love adding mint. I love adding mint to anything, really. Thai, my drinks, of course. I just find it just gives that really nice fresh. And of course, fresh herbs are always best. Oh, missing a little bit right there. All right, that looks really good. You have your filling, let's put it together. All right, so next you need phyllo pastry. You can find this in the freezer department at your store. It is, or you can make it by hand. I have never attempted it. I don't have the patience, and I don't even know if I would be able to tell the difference between homemade and not homemade, because I've gone to some authentic Greek restaurants, and I'm assuming that they're making it homemade, and this tastes just as good. So it dries out quite quickly, so you could keep a damp cloth on it, but actually we're gonna be able to work with it quite quickly, so not to worry. So what you wanna do is just unfold it. Here's a piece. And if it rips, don't worry, because you can just continue layering it. So I'm gonna start with 1 piece, so I'll peel off a nice sheet, and I'm going to bathe it in a butter. So melt up some butter, and all you want to do is get that butter everywhere. I like using about 3 sheets, and I like adding a lot of butter. It just makes it flavorful and crispy. Of course, you do have to be quite delicate with it, you know, because it is paper thin. But it's really quite easy to work with. And on the package it says do not refreeze, but I always refreeze it anyway. Just wrap it really well, and it's fine. I usually use it for like a wrap brie or this, or any kind of appetizer really. It's so easy to work with, and so crispy and tasty. So there we go. So I'm talking about a light coat, right? It's not sopping in butter, but it is everywhere. Just try and get that everywhere. Okay, so then my second sheet goes right on top of it. And don't be shy if it's not perfect or if it breaks. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry. There we go. So you continue on right to your last sheet. 3 sheets in all. Any more than that, I think you're getting just too much of the pastry and not enough of the filling. A good ratio, as you'd like to say. All right, one more. Yes. Okay, so my 3rd sheet. Perfect. I'm also gonna butter this one. All right. You don't have to be as delicate once you're onto your 3rd one. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to cut it in half, once in half, and then once more like that. You can do big ones, but we're gonna do little ones here today. All right, I am a little messy with the butter, but there, we get the gist of it. All right, so I'm gonna put about a larger tablespoon. Okay, let's say about 2 tablespoons in each one. Now I'm gonna bring this corner right to the end. Right to the end there. I do love a full Spanakopita. I do love it full. I do not like when there's not enough in it. So folding it to one end, then down, all right, and then over, and then down, and then over. There you go. So there's your first triangle. You're going to put them on a baking sheet and actually add more butter. It's gonna be so delicious. So we have one done. Next, just continue pushing your luck with how much will fit in your Spanakopita. That should be good. That should be good. You don't want to have just a whole bunch of crust. So, and kind of put it down so it'll go in all the corners, all right? So the butter on the last dish is actually doing a really good job of sealing it, all right? These freeze beautifully. So I would put them in the freezer just like this and butter them last minute right before you're gonna pop them in the oven. Cook them from frozen, no problem. Gonna add some more butter on the top. Oh yeah, it's gonna be so crispy and delicious. Ooh. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing it with the butter. I just love butter. All right. Just a light coating of butter. Okay, let's take a little bit off here. It's not gonna, there we go. Starting off really, really gently. Now, if it does rip, like, oh my God, it just ripped, just place it back down. Or if you've taken a piece that's ripped, just overlap it, just like that, and keep going. Lots of mistakes in cooking. Pretty much everything can be remedied or repaired. All right, and if it doesn't fall even, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can just tuck it under. You can cut it off. It's really not that big a deal. So like I said, you could put anything you wanted in here. You could put a Duxelles stuffing. You could put a little sun-dried tomato with brie cheese, a little piece of chicken. Ooh, those are looking delicious. All right, so a little swish. There we go. Fold them over. There's another. Jalapeno jelly with brie. There's so many things you could do with phyllo pastry. So versatile. All right. Now, this spinach stuffing would also be really great in ravioli. So if you're up to making some fresh pasta, this little ball of goodness is gonna be so delicious. Oh, you're not paying attention. I need to put one more. All right, so just finish off by buttering your tops. And let's get this in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. I'm so hungry. All right, so I've added another 5 minutes just because I love it so golden brown. It is starting to puff up and looking delicious. So I put the timer on. I have 3 more minutes left. We're gonna throw this together in 3 minutes. I'm using Greek yogurt. It's just thick and delicious. You can use regular plain yogurt if that's what you have. I've used it tons of times and it's still delicious. It's just a thicker consistency. So we're gonna add a cup to a bowl. I'm just making a small amount, but you can double this recipe, no problem. So 1 cup of that. The cucumber I'm using is just a long English cucumber. What I've done is I've grated it up, and you can do the scraping of the middle. I've done that. You can put salt and let it sit 15 minutes, but really I just grated it and then I squeezed the liquid out, and it's given me this nice dry cucumber. But I've also made it without squeezing it out, and it tastes fine too. It's just a little more liquidy. Okay, so to that I have a minced garlic clove. I'm just adding 1 because it was fairly big. To that I have a heaping tablespoon of fresh dill. All right, perfect. And of course lemon, which is going to be delicious, but whenever I'm using lemon, I want to use the zest. It just adds a little bit more flavor. I won't use the whole thing because we're just using half a cup, but probably like a teaspoon. Maybe half of a lemon. That'll be really good. Lemon zest just brings out the flavor in everything. And then a nice squeeze, maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. All right. Now I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is a Greek olive oil, so it's really keeping with the Greek theme. You can also add a little bit of honey or a pinch of sugar. I just find it like, it just like equals everything out. You have the sweet, the sour. It just adds a little bit of, just adds a little bit of perfection. So I'm gonna add probably half a teaspoon of honey to this. I'm not gonna stick that back in there. That'd be a bad idea. Okay, we're gonna give this a nice stir. I mean, obviously the longer you let it sit, the better it's gonna taste, because the garlic is gonna go all through it, but I'm hungry now, so I'm probably just gonna eat it now. It's gonna be delicious. All right, so that is done. So 3 minutes it was. If you want to put a little pinch of pepper and a little pinch of salt, and put it in a pretty bowl, of course. Crispiness and the crispy bits are just flying everywhere. It is so delicious, so crispy, buttery, and flaky. And the tzatziki is so refreshing. It has just such a nice kick. Easy to make, 10 times better than what you buy in the store. And these little gems, honestly, you probably bought them frozen at Christmas. It has a little nubbin of spinach. This is gonna blow them away. And it was so easy to make. You can do this. Give it a try. Let me know your thoughts on it. Don't forget to subscribe so we can see each other next Wednesday. Through the summer, it'll be every second Wednesday. And have a great week. Cheers.